Hello, guys. Come on in. Hello, guys. Can you hear me? Thank you, Vanigos. I don't know what happened to my network there. Honestly, my Wi-Fi has been playing mad, has been behaving mad, if I should call it that way. Anyway, I'm just gonna wait for others to join us. I have to quickly do this on YouTube. You can hear me now. Okay. I've had to go onto my mobile phone. I don't know what was happening with my laptop there. Maybe it was my network. I'm not sure, but better connection now. Yes, I've had to switch to my mobile phone. I don't know what was happening with my laptop there. So, yeah, so let's wait for others to join us. Please like and share as a comment. I'll probably add thumbnail later on. I'll add thumbnail later on. So, guys, like and share as a comment, please. Okay, so let's get started on the story of this woman. Let me open the story up and say hello, hiya to everybody. Okay, happy Sunday evening to everybody. So we are starting afresh. We are starting this live stream from the start. Hello, Bridget. Thank you so much for coming. Please like and share. Please like and share. And let me find the story so I'll be able to um okay. So I found, so just like I was saying earlier on, this lady is her name is Chinyere. She's a mother of four who relocated to to Scotland actually with her family. I think it was 2017 or something. Yeah, so she relocated to Scotland with her family in 2017, and obviously she is a main applicant. And prior to her coming to UK, she was a banker. It was alleged that she was a banker in Nigeria, and she decided to, obviously everybody wants a better, something for their family, so she decided to leave her banking job and apply to become a student here in the UK. So she has actually graduated from Glasgow. So let me see, she graduated from the Glasgow Caledonian University. Is one of the most recognized university in Scotland, where she studied international business management. And after qualification, after she graduated, she set up a business in Glasgow called is a management consultancy company. So it was alleged that before she left Nigeria, that they have their own house. She was the one who bought the land and built the house. So then she moved from Nigeria to the UK. Meanwhile, while she was in the UK in Scotland with her family, her husband did not stay. Like, husband preferred to stay back home in Nigeria. Obviously, she has her children here, so she's got nothing to worry about. But then I think what got to her ears that her husband was trying to sell the house she has in Nigeria. Yes, the husband made attempt to sell the house, but was not able to sell it because the house was in the wife's name, and obviously Oga could not sell the land because the land, there's no way you're going to be able to sell somebody's property. Property will not be your own. You won't be, I mean, you won't go far trying to sell that property. So the wife decided to, come back to Nigeria without telling the husband. So it was only her brother, her younger brother, who knew of her coming. So upon arriving in Nigeria, she contacted her husband saying, no, husband, oh, come and give us the key to the house. Mm? The husband was surprised that she arrived without his knowledge. So he came round, gave the key to the house, and the brother of Chinyere was the who also obviously picked her up from the airport, came, and it was too dark for him to travel back to his own house. So he decided to sleep in that house overnight. So while they slept, they noticed that something wet was on their body. And before they could even say anything, this man set them up, put a light into the petrol, and hello, Cindy Manuel, welcome. So this man turned them to barbecue. And yeah, obviously the man fled. But when the neighbors tried to revive the woman died at the scene. But the brother of the woman, before he passed away, you remember the story, Barney goes, yeah, it happened like, yeah, maybe about 5 years ago. So on the bed, the brother, by God's grace, obviously he died as well. But before he died, he was able to tell the police who he saw, who did that to them. So on his dying bed, he told the police that it was his sister's husband who did that to them. So it seems like a lengthy justice for them. So this man was arrested, and obviously the news was released. Yeah, I saw the news about the news was released on the 3rd of March 2025 to say that the man has been sentenced to be unalived. Yes. There was a video I wanted to play for you guys, but I don't know what happened to the connection on my laptop. It was just not, I don't know what was happening to it there. So I'm going to read the story according to Daily Record. The Daily Record is a UK newspaper. So UK newspaper said, husband who set Scott's wife. If you're in Nigeria, if you're anybody and you live in Scotland, they refer to you as Scots, no matter how long you've lived there. It's just something we Scottish people will do. So I'm a Scots woman. So husband who set Scott's wife on fire over, in quote, jealousy, sentenced to be unalived in Nigeria. Please like the live stream. So mother of four, Chinyere Ogudoro, and her brother Ifeanyi Ezodiem suffered fatal injuries. So a man has been sentenced to the death penalty for murdering his wife by setting her on fire after she made a trip home to Nigeria from Scotland. So when she made that trip home to Nigeria, she did not tell the husband. The husband was not aware of it. So mother of four, Chinyere Ogundoro, she's a 46-year-old woman, and her brother Ifeanyi suffered fatal injuries during an incident at their family home in Lagos. So it happened in April 2022. Her husband Benjamin Ogudoro is a 53-year-old man. He unalived his wife and his brother-in-law by setting them alight as they sleep. So yeah, his wife and his brother were sleeping, and this man, the husband, snuck in on them, poured them petrol, and set them on fire. So it's been said here that Chinyere moved to Scotland in 2017 to study at Glasgow Caledonian University, and she gained a master's degree in international business management. She had set up home in Glasgow. Yeah, she's been in Glasgow since, and formed a home management consultancy company in the city after graduating from university. So Ogudoro's trial at Lagos State High Court heard he was jealous of his wife's business career. Can you imagine? Jealous, jealousy. The wife they come, he apply, he carry you attached to the visa, as a dependent, which means that you could both be involved in the same business, or you could get your own business started. But no, you did not get your own business started. You were jealous of your wife. So jealousy drove this man to unalive his wife. So he probably wouldn't have the balls to do it while here in Scotland with her. He decided to go back home. Only if this woman did not go back home to Nigeria. So he was jealous of his wife's business career and was angry that she owned the house they lived in. So, like I said earlier on, the house they lived in Nigeria, it was the wife who owns the house. So Chinyere owns the house because she was a banker before she left Nigeria. So she already built this house. So Mrs. Ogudoro had returned to speak with her husband. Geronimo, long time. You remember this case? I think most people remember the case. It was just that we just did not get updates. So this update was released on the 3rd of March there. So, like I said, it was a long case and it took forever for justice to be gotten for this family. But then justice, the mother is gone. They are going to unalive the father. Who's going to look after their children? So Mrs. Ogudoro had returned to speak with her husband after finding out he planned to sell the family home without her permission. Like I said earlier on, that yes, the husband tried to sell the house without the woman's permission, and everywhere he went to when he was trying to sell the house, he couldn't because the property doesn't have his name on it, so he was not able to sell the property. So Ogudoro claimed the fire so this man, the husband, claimed that the fire started by accident. What fire starts by accident? What fire started by accident? There was a video of him that I wanted to play, but I don't know what's wrong with my network today. So he said the fire started by accident, but he was found guilty of the murders by Judge Sherifas Shonaike last week. So he was sentenced last week, and this judge sentenced him to be unalive by hanging. So Uche Uwalaka, who is the sister of the victims, gave evidence for the prosecution and said their mother has died as a result of the pain. Oh my God. So they lost their mom as well. Said their mom died as a result of the pain of losing two of her children on the same day. That's a massive blow. Okay. So the sister said, in quote, I am pleading for justice because of the pain of losing my siblings to the actions of the defendant. Mrs. Ogudoro died at the scene of the incident on the 1st of April 2022, and her younger brother died later in hospital, but he was able to give a dying declaration to police, alleging that his brother-in-law was responsible. Yeah, he was able to give that dying declaration that the husband was the one who did that. So Ogudoro claimed that. So this is the man now. The man claimed he discovered the fire after returning home from a bar and had tried to save his wife and brother-in-law. He said, in quote, "I did not unalive my wife. It is absolutely not true that I poured fuel on my wife and her brother. By the time I went back to the house, she was still with her brother in the guest room. I was on my phone and I suddenly saw an unusual light coming from the balcony close to the guest room." How is that possible? How is that possible? So he continued, "When I got there, I opened the door and I saw the fire. I moved back immediately because the flames had already touched me." How did the fire that already started, how can the flame touch you? So obviously, the remnant of the petrol he poured on them was still on him. So when he tries to run, that was where the bit of the fire caught up with him because he had like a burnt in his leg. From the video I saw, he had a burnt to his leg as well. So he claimed that, "I moved back immediately because the flames had already touched me. I even sustained injuries on my hands and leg from when he tried to obviously run. I ran to the place I went to drink earlier. Some people were there and I asked them for help and begged them to pour water on me because my body was hot. They poured some water on me and that was the last thing I remembered until I found myself in the hospital." So he was saying that the fire already started, that it was when he was trying to go obviously save his wife and his brother-in-law that he also got burnt. But then his story did not add up because at the end of the day, the brother of the sister, he left a dying declaration that it was the one who poured them petrol. It was the one who poured them petrol, and like what would lead you to that? Because of jealousy. Because of jealousy, because you're jealous of your wife. Like when I read the story, I was so mad. I was so mad at how this was able to happen. How this was able to happen. Like he knew what he was doing. He knew what he was doing because he was jealous of his wife. You know what? I'm gonna keep saying this. If you are lazy, hmm, and you want to live the high life, it's not going to be possible. Obviously, because it's been clear that this woman was the one. Obviously, she was a banker before she left Nigeria. She was making money on her own. She was making money on her own. And this man, because of what he wants to do, because he was jealous of the success. Did they not say that behind every successful man, there's a woman? And behind every successful woman, there's a man? But this man, no, that adage does not apply to him. He wanted to unalive his wife and he succeeded in doing it just because of a mere property, because of a house, because of a house. And yes, this woman only went back to go have a chat with him to discuss what he wanted to do. Because at the end of the day, they have children. Both of you are married. So why would you want to go sell something that at the end of the day, both of you are benefiting from it? I mean, the wife, they collect house rent from the husband. Jealousy. Jealousy drove this man to do what he did to his wife and his brother-in-law. So according to the story there, the justice ruled the prosecution had proved beyond a reasonable doubt that Ogudoro deliberately planned and carried out the attack on his wife and his brother-in-law. She described his actions as wickedness of the highest order, in quote. So yeah, a tribute was paid at the Glasgow Caledonian University. Paid a tribute to Chinyere, and the doctor, the department. So that's the department. The management of our department said, "I'm very shocked and saddened to hear of the tragic death of Chinyere. I was able to get to know Chinyere well and admired her dedication to her studies and the welfare of her children and wider family. Our motivation for taking the course was to enable a better future for them. Chinyere will be missed by all who knew her, and I will send my heartfelt condolences." So far, what this news has told us is that the man has been sentenced to be unalived. It's just so sad that if he gets unalive, their children will have no parents. Please like this live stream, guys. Their children will have no parents to care for them, to cater for them. And this leads me back to domestic violence. Domestic violence. Why would you want to sell a property? Because this kind of man now, I don't think it will be the same kind of man. This man will not be able to even do anything in that woman's name. Is it a crime that the woman from her job was able to at least have a roof over their head, and this man decided to take her life? It's so sad. It's so sad. Over a property. Now that family has been shattered forever. He unalived his wife and a younger brother. And a younger brother. Like, guys, this story shocked me. When I heard of it years ago, I was like, you know what? It's so sad what women go through. And the likes of Daddy Freeze, they will not see this kind of stories to come and report. Because I think it was on Daddy Freeze show that I've heard so many shows where they say, "Men, don't bring your wife to diaspora. Oh. Don't bring your wife abroad. Men, don't bring your wife abroad." Oh. It's not only the men that brings their woman to diaspora. And even though these men brings their wife to diaspora, when they bring their wife to the diaspora, they often sit down and cross their hands and do not go to work. They don't work. Yes, I said it with my full chest. These men, when they bring their wife to the abroad, they are the ones who don't work. They don't work so that they'll be able to monitor you. Maybe you are carrying boyfriend or man friend. That is basically what they want to do. So they've carried you abroad to come and be the slave. I wish the likes of Daddy Freeze would see the story of this woman. She brought her husband and her children to diaspora. She went to university for a master's program. She already set up a business, a consultancy business here in Glasgow. But because of jealousy, oh, the man did not contribute to bringing them to the diaspora. It was the wife who did all of this. And what could he do? What could he do to pay her back for being a good wife who took them out of Nigeria to come here? He was jealous. He was jealous. And now that woman is gone. Like, guys, I've heard this word of "I brought you to the abroad." Every story that I've heard in the past a week has been a story of a woman that has been brought to the diaspora by their husband, and the husband has decided to become a house husband. When I say house husband, the man has decided to not do any job. I would rather do business back home in Nigeria, and then they will leave the family here and they will go back to Nigeria and be doing what? Nothing. Why can't they stay here? Obviously, it was in the agreement to come to the diaspora together, right? So you both came here and you tried to go back. I just wondered how that woman, how she was able to survive, obviously, studying a master's program and then having children. I mean, looking after the children as well. I just can't imagine. I think I know the deal. I know what it would take a woman to be working full-time, studying full-time, and then be catering for children at the same time. But this man, he went to Nigeria to go and be doing God knows what, planning to sell the property that the wife built. Planning to sell the property that the woman built. So it is not only men that bring their wives abroad. And like I said, I wish likes of Daddy Freeze will see this news of this woman that she brought her husband to the abroad. She was doing successful. She was successful. She was doing great. The husband was not happy with. The husband was jealous because of that. Tried to sell the property she built back home, even though I don't think the man is paying house rent, because if they are living in the house that the wife built. And what did this woman deserve? He killed her. He unalived her. Now the judge has sentenced that they should go and yegi for no color yegi let's say color and that is what the judge has ruled. That is what the judge has ruled. It's so sad. With that being said, I was listening. There's a video of a lady I saw on TikTok. If any of you follow me on Instagram, you'll see the story of that lady that I shared. I'm still waiting for her permission to be able to share that story, her story on my channel. So when I want to share that story, I'll bring everything she has posted on her Instagram. I mean, no, she's not on Instagram, she's on TikTok. Her story is just exactly like this woman. Her own, she went to school in Nigeria. I'm just going to give us a quick summary. She went to school in Nigeria. She graduated. Obviously, she's been dating her husband. They were married before he left. She's in Belgium. So the husband came to Nigeria to bring her over to Belgium. And yes, not quite long after she came, she fell pregnant, which is what she prayed for, right? She fell pregnant. And this woman said the husband started to show her shaggy. She was young. As at when she came, she was only 26 years old. Not quite long after she came to Belgium, she fell pregnant. She was happy. Not quite long after she fell pregnant, this man said, you guys go and work. Meanwhile, the man turned the lady to panebita. I mean, the man turned to a panebita. He was divvying this woman, giving her gbasgbos several times. And when he brought her over, he made sure that she has no contact with anybody. He only introduced her to one couple. And those couple, I believed, were the first set of people he met. Obviously, maybe they've helped him at some point as well. So those were the only person that this woman knew. So he started giving the woman gbasgbos even while she was pregnant. He gave the woman gbasgbos to an extent one day that the lady said she thought that she was going to lose the pregnancy at maybe 7 months or 8 months or maybe 7 months pregnant or something. So she had to run to the house of this couple he introduced her to. Please like the live stream, guys. She had to run to the house of this couple he introduced her to. And those ones were like, why did you call the police? And she was like, oh, I love my husband. I don't want him to have any issue. Like, he panicated her to a stupor. So obviously these people, they have to call her husband and say, come, this time when you do this woman, you're not supposed to do this kind of thing for this country, that if he ever attempts to do that again, that they will actually be the one to call the police. You know, it was like, oh no, I won't do that again. This is that. So the woman went home. And this man said to the woman that she needs to go and find a job. So she found a job. And this man was collecting 1,000 euros every month from the wife. And she was heavily pregnant. And on top of that, she would do gbasgbos for her. If he was the kind of man who will not eat soup that is more than 2 days, he will not eat it. It has to be, any soup he wants to eat, it has to be freshly made. Any kind of man that wants a soup that is freshly made, he will have to go and bring his mother from Africa to come and cook that soup for him. So he has a heavily pregnant woman who is working, and he's always demanding freshly cooked soup. If the soup is more than 24 hours, he no go chop. Like I said, that's any man that is wanting such, he will have to go and bring his mother. He will have to go and bring his mother from Africa to come and be doing that for him. So still, this one was still doing all of that, to try and please him, because according to her, if you go on my Instagram, you'll see the story of that lady there, a TikTok handle, so you can go check her out later on. This woman was still going to work, and this woman, obviously, it's clear that she loved this man more than the man loved her. And she said it here that it's a crime if you actually love a man more than he loves you. So she was working. The first month, she gave him 1,000 euro. The second month, she collected salary, she gave him 1,000 euro. I think it was by the third month, she refused and said, no, I can't do this. Like, I'm expecting the baby we are both having together. She's still yet to buy baby stuff. That, it just doesn't make sense. You married her. You brought her to the diaspora. Should you not be the one looking after her? Instead, you say she should go and look for a job. She was working and she should be giving you 1,000 euros every month. I'm not going to give you that kind of thing, though. 1 hour shishi, I will not give you. I'm sorry. 1 hour shishi, I will not give. So when the third month, when she was meant to obviously give another 1,000 euro, when she refused, this man panicated her again. Panicated her to an extent that she could not move. So she ran to these people again. And it was from there they called the police. Do you know what this man did? She applied to the authority in Belgium to revoke this lady's visa. She shared the story, and when I watched her video, I could relate to her story. I could relate to her story. So, lesson from that lady's video, or from that lady's story. If you're a woman and you are waiting for a man to come and marry you, to bring you to diaspora, before you actually, maybe you are already married, before he actually brings you to before you agree to come with him to diaspora, both of you should sit down and have terms and conditions. So that your case will not be the case of this lady. I think her name is Blessed Sylvia or something. So your case will not be the same case as her. After, yes, maybe he already married you before he left for diaspora. If he now travels back home to come and bring you to the abroad, make sure you sit down and have a terms and condition written. Like, Oga, now to marry me, you won't come carry me now. Say if I work, you go to collect my money, I be now you go provide. A late terms and conditions should be written. Abi, when I come here, you go turn me to your house girl. Me, I go to work, bamboo go to work, or monkey go to chop. How do they put that word? Because in this case of this lady, the minute the guy brought her over, he turned her into something else. He turned her into the slave. And this girl, according to her story, she said she was trying everything possible to make sure that he always pleases him. But still, no matter what he does, what she does, she was not able to please this man. And according to her story, she said her mother-in-law was also a contributing factor to that man's behavior. If you're a mother-in-law here and you have a son that is bossing their daughter, their wife, you've done a very, very bad job. If you're a mother-in-law and you are contributing to the treatment your son is giving to his wife, then you are a bad mother. You've raised a bad child. You've raised a bad child. So this lady now, obviously, she's out here sharing her story, and God so loved her, God sent helpers her way who were able to adopt her, help her regularize her stay in Belgium. She's now a chef now, and she's living fine. And trust netizens, she came out to start sharing her story, and they were abusing her. Oh, you've only just said your own side of the story. If we hear the side of the story of the man now, when you have already used your God-given mouth to ruin the man, those are the kind of things that people are saying to her. And I love the kind of energy she was giving those responses. I know what. Now, only man will never beat woman before, I will reply to. I think it's high time the media or the public or the Nigerian or African community start saying that a woman does not have to die in a DV relationship. If a man ever raises his hand at you, he will forever do it. And this is the case of Blessed Sylvia as an example. Chinyere did not see her death coming. If she knew the plans of her husband, she probably wouldn't have made that journey home. Maybe even if she had gone home, she wouldn't have even slept in that house. Maybe she could have just checked into an hotel and try and meet her husband and other family members on a neutral ground or in a neutral place. Her husband unalived her because he was jealous of the house that she built and which he tried to sell and was not able to sell. And I love the fact that this woman built that property in her name. Assuming it was Mr. and Mrs., that man would have been able to sell that property. And I would love for the lawyers in the house or any lawyers that come across this video, please leave us an advice as to what would you advise women who are married, who would like to acquire portfolios. How would you advise them to put across their portfolio? Should they do it in their married name or should they do it in their maiden name? Or maybe possibly whatever they want to do, they should do it in their children's name. Because I felt like this man not being able to sell that property was because this woman built and all of the paperwork for the house was in her name. It's so sad that because of a property, it's something of this world that you will not take to heaven with you. He unalive his wife. It's a shame. It's a very, very sad story. So my lasting word, guys, we're not going to be long here. My lasting word is this. Women, be very, very vigilant in your marriages. I know people say marriage is beautiful, marriage is lovely. People say marry your best friend. Please like this live stream, guys. People say marry your best friend. You all forget, say best friend can also turn to your enemy at some point. Yes, your best friend can also turn to your enemy at some point. In this case now, Chinyere's husband, I believe, would have been her best friend, but it turned out to be her worst enemy because he got jealous of her and he unalived her. I pray that their children, I pray that they're able to receive proper care and people are able to look after them. And like I said, for those of you who have already been married, maybe your husband married you and say, okay, you stay in Nigeria first, let me go and also. And the man now come back maybe after a year or two to come and marry you. Please have terms and conditions written. And I'm sure I have a video on my channel, especially if you're a woman whom your husband is about to bring you to the diaspora. I'm going to try and find, maybe if this video has already finished processing, I'll try and tag it. Have a terms and condition written. Yes, that the freezer and his cohort. Men, don't bring your wife abroad. In this case, it was this woman that brought her husband abroad. And in the case of Blessed Sylvia, there are so many lessons to learn there. So if I can remember from that video that I made, the terms and condition you should make is this: Oga, Now that you are taking me abroad, who is going to be working full time or part time? Yes, obviously, as a woman, you want to contribute at some point. You want to find a job as well, right? And don't ever sit down at home. You are coming to the diaspora. Don't ever sit down at home. Get a job doing as a wife they are bringing from diaspora. But before you agree to come with him to diaspora, ask him who's going to be taking care of the responsibility pending till you find a job. And if I now find a job, how are we going to go about responsibilities? Who is going to be paying the rent? Am I going to be contributing? Like, put it down on the table. And also, when it comes to having children, I was watching Pastor Shola on TikTok, and you know what? I love the message he gave. I don't know if I still have that video because I screen recorded a few of the points he made. If I find it, I will maybe upload it as a short on my channel. Also, have an agreement as to how many children you're going to have. Don't be like me. Oh. Even though the time that I was having my children, things were better then. The economy was great. Being in the abroad was good. If your husband is about to bring you to diaspora today, these are the things I want you to ask and clarify. In fact, if you're asking the question, be asking it in the presence of your family member and his own family member. If possible, write terms and sign a contract on that writing. How many children are you going to have? If you want to have two, have an agreement, no more than two. Because at the end of the day, you should be able to you should have children that you'll be able to cater for. Especially if you are coming on a certain type of visa. Having multiple children is not going to help you anyways because you will struggle. There are this family that I've known them for years now. They came with a highly skilled visa and they have 4 boys. Up until right now, I was still speaking to the wife about a few days ago. She does 3 jobs. The husband has 3 jobs. And all of their 4 boys, they are in university here in the UK. And they are paying school fees for them as international students. So I don't know, maybe there was a rule as to their visa, which means that they are not able to claim anything. You will have thought that they've been here for a very long time. They will have maybe applied to become a permanent resident or something. I don't know what kind of visa, and I don't know how they have not been able to convert their visa, but their children attending university are attending as international students, and their parents are paying all of their university fees. Go and check how much university students as international students are paying. 4 children. So have an understanding as to how many children you want to have. And that will not change. Okay? That will not change. Secondly, when you are now working, both of you must have an agreement. And I want to tell you something. Never, ever, ever agree to a joint account. Look at me. If you're watching me and you already have a joint account with your husband, Omo, open your eyes. Go and dismantle it. Let everybody have their account separately. Let everybody have their account separately. I'm saying this and I have my reason for saying it. So, terms and condition number 4, ask that your husband, come, in future, if I want to buy a property, would you have an issue with it? Obviously, you want to buy it in your name. And one thing somebody told me is this: as a woman, if you want to buy a property, if your husband is happy with it, that's fine. But someone said to me, always keep your documentation from when you were using your maiden name. So for me, I still have some of my documentation with my maiden name on it. So if you have to buy a property, and yes, if your husband is happy that okay, yeah, you can buy, make sure you add your name. The way they named you on your naming ceremony, the name they gave you, not all of your names. So, but let's say you're bearing Fumilayo Ayomide, maybe your last name is Jonathan, maybe your papa name is Jonathan. So write your name Fumilayo Ayomide Jonathan, and then your husband's name. That is what somebody advised me years ago. Lawyers in the house, if you come across this video, please let me know if it starts still there. So that is your name, your maiden name, followed by your married name. That is how your name should be if you are tall, if you want to buy a property in your name. If your husband kicked against it, Omo, that should be a red flag. But then, like I said, they say that behind every successful man, there's a woman. And behind every successful woman, there's a man. So I wouldn't imagine why a man or a husband would not be happy if the wife wants to buy a property in her name. Because if you're not happy that your wife wants to buy property in her name, that means that you can't buy a property in your wife's name. To me, that's simply what it means. So all of these things, I know it's easier said than done, but I would like to say I'm going to try and tag put that video in the cart for you when this video is already finished processing. Terms and conditions. It's a good thing that your husband is bringing you abroad, but sit down, have a written undertaking as to what life will be when you come to the hospital, so that your case will not be like the Blessed Sylvia. That lady, I saw her video, all of the videos that she shared, like correct bass that this man was giving to her. Bass. And yes, no, women don't have to die in a DV relationship. Okay? Women, you don't have to die in a DV relationship. Because at the end of the day, you might say you are staying for your children. I pray God keep you alive. It's only somebody that stays alive that will be able to look after the children, right? And now, if those children are now in that marriage and you're still staying there and you're collecting bass, you are damaging those children. Oh. I'm speaking from experience. I suffer from trauma of being raised in a house where DV was there. I already shared my story on this channel. So don't think that the children that you are raising, the children that you are staying for, don't think that they don't see, they don't hear everything that's happening. They see, but they might not know. All of those things might not show until they are of age. So if you're saying you are staying in a DV marriage because of your children, remember you are damaging those children. And somebody that is alive that will be able to tell the story. Osinachi is somebody that you should remember. Hmm? That should motivate you to leave. Bimbo, IVD's wife. Mm, if you're in a DV right now and you're watching me, those two stories that I just mentioned, especially this one that we started, this Chinyere case, Bimbo IVD and Osinachi, these three people should motivate you to pack your bags and leave. Yesterday was just International Women's Day. We are celebrating all women in all ramifications. Okay? So guys, I'm going to end this live stream here. I really wanted you guys to be able to come, to dialogue with me, but I don't know what happened to my stream yard there, so I have to do this on YouTube. But if you're watching this live stream back, do not hesitate to, like, drop a comment in the comment section, subscribe, feel free to leave your thought and opinion. And like I said, if there are any lawyers in the house, please advise, especially women who want to buy portfolios in their names. What is the best way to go about that? How do you go about it? If you want to buy a property in your husband's name, how do you think names should be placed on documentation? Because at the end of the day, if you say Mr. and Mrs., your husband can still go and sell the property because he'll tell you that, and I may buy the land, and I may buy the building, and I may go sell them. But obviously, I want to believe that whatever both of you acquired while you are married belongs to both of you. That's my understanding. And if that has changed, please, guys, if you have more knowledge, kindly advise us in the comment section, okay? And yeah, thank you so much, guys. I just thought I'll bring this story here. We keep learning every day. Nobody knows it. Or even me that I'm sitting out here, I am still learning every day. I don't know it all. But 20 years in marriage or 19 and a half years plus in marriage, if I were to talk freely, we will not live here. Hmm. We will not live here. If I were to talk freely, based on what I've experienced, what I've learned in marriage, we will not leave this live stream. But anything I've shared during this live stream, I want you to take it seriously. Okay, you might not have thought of it, but I want you to take it seriously. If you're a wife in Nigeria, waiting for your husband to come and bring you to come abroad, have undertaking written terms and conditions. And if you're a wife in the diaspora, hmm, and your husband know the work, and they turn you to jack of all trade, open your eye. And if you have a joint account, open your eye and go and dismantle that joint account. Yes, that moment I've said it, and I said it with my full chest. That I don't care if your love is love in Tokyo or love in Paris. I don't freaking care. Let everybody have their own pot. Mm. Because it's a different case. The wife will be working and husband will just be spending money in Mola. And we have a case of where husband will be working and the wife will be spending money in Mola. But yeah, I'm advocating for women. Today is for women. So guys, if you thought on the opinion as always, if you've watched this live stream till now and you've not yet subscribed to my channel, what are you waiting for? Don't forget to like, drop a comment in the comment section, and also follow me. I'm on it. I'm TikTok as Just Doing Me. Yeah, so just is JUSTDOINGMII. That's me on TikTok. On Instagram, I remain that mom of five. I have a vlog channel. I know I've not uploaded video there in a few weeks now, and it's called Wemi Space. Okay, go and subscribe, because I guess because people are not subscribed, that's why I'm not motivated to drop videos there. So go follow me, and I'm also on Instagram as that mom of five. So if there's any story, like I said, even when I was sharing this video of Blessed Sylvia, three women, three women, they send a DM and start sharing experience of a family friend, of a family, and of how things, like of that story, of how they could relate to that story of that Blessed Sylvia. So like I said, I'm still waiting for our consent so that I'll be able to take some of our content on our channel, I mean on our TikTok page, maybe put it in a short video, and then I'll come here and we'll do a proper discussion on it. So once she says she's going to send me a DM. So once she gives me the go ahead, I'll bring the story here, because we are all learning. I don't know it all. We are all learning, okay? And no marriage is what you're dying for. Hmm? I don't want to die for any man, and I don't want any man to die for me. Okay? I don't want to die for any man, and I don't want any man to die for me. That is where I'm going to drop today's topic. And yes, if you're watching and you've not yet subscribed, what are you waiting for? Don't forget to like, drop a comment in the comment section, subscribe if you've not yet done so, turn on your post notification, share this video, and do not hesitate to join my membership. And I hope to catch up with you in another video. All right? I think I have a video that is dropping tomorrow by 10 o'clock. There's lots of video lined up, right? Yeah, lots of videos, and obviously lots of live streams. So I hope you have a chance to join me. And thank you to all of you that are watching. And please, before you click out, please like this live stream, guys. There's 21 of you watching me right now. Please give this video a thumbs up. Give this video a thumbs up, guys, and I really appreciate it. Please give it a thumb up, thumbs up, thumbs up. There's 10. We can do better. Give this live stream a thumbs up. I'm just waiting for that thumbs up to go into maybe like 15 or 20 before I leave here. Guys, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. The thumbs up is not increasing though. Why are you guys not doing thumbs up? Anyway, guys, I'll go and I'll see you guys later, all right? Have an amazing week ahead, and I'll see you guys later, all right? Bye.